Good morning. It's Monday, November 1st. And today I want to talk about an event that had not happened in this country since the Civil War. I'm talking about January 6th, the insurrection, which many people claim never happened as an insurrection. As you know, that many people, particularly Republicans in power, that was nothing more than a regular tourist day. That was not true. We had an attempt to overturn the election that Joe Biden won. We had an attempted coup. We had a president on that day who was demanding of his vice president, who was in charge of the certification of the votes, to cancel it, to declare the certification invalid because of the so-called fraud, the big lie that we have all learned to live with. Anyhow, I am sure that most of you recognize the fact that we have a House Congressional Committee investigating the events of January 6th. And that committee has requested documents from the National Archives, documents that relate to the activities of President Trump, and his archives are prepared to produce these documents. And President Trump, in his usual fashion, has sued to have those documents kept secret. And he is suing, claiming that he has the right to executive. And Joe Biden, who is the president and controls executive privilege, has said Donald Trump does not have executive privilege, and he cannot hide those documents from the committee. Now, it's very important that the committee get these documents. These documents are a treasure trove of information, because everything that goes on in the White House is documented in some way, shape, or form. So the documents that the committee is after contain telephone calls. They contain the drafts of speeches that were later transcribed. They contain the drafts of speeches that were never transcribed. They contain the notes between Mark Meadows and the president. Everything that the president did all day long is captured in these documents. And the National Archives have taken the position that Joe Biden and the committee are entitled to these documents. Now, President Trump has taken a position that he has executive privilege. Even though he's not the president anymore, he believes he's still entitled to the protection of executive privilege. He's not entitled to that. So, Joe Biden has agreed that the committee, the January 6th committee, can have all this information from the National Archives. Now, it would be a terrible thing if President Trump was to win this lawsuit, because that would mean that the National Archives are powerless. What is the point of having National Archives when one can prevent them from producing the information required? Now, the National Archives have a lot more than the presidential papers. But if the former president can somehow or other prevent the National Archives from producing information that is critical in the decisions of many things that go on in this country, our history would be defenseless. The information critical to make major decisions would not be available to people. That would be a monumental mistake. You know that our ex-president lives by the suit. He sues, and over everything, lives by the suit. He sues over everything. So this is not something new for him, but trying to stop and hide information about what he and his compatriots did that day is a disgrace. Stand up. If you believe you were right, stand up and take your medicine. If you believe there was fraud, stand up and prove it. 60 times they went to court and 59 times they lost. This is not even about losing in court or about trying to have Pence decertify the election. This is about attempting a coup. Can you imagine that the United States of America would have a coup attempt? That's a disgrace. And that coup attempt has set this country back. It has destroyed whatever capability we had for working together. It has divided this country almost as much as a complete civil war. And there are many out there right now who are predicting that we might be on the verge of a civil war. If you can believe that. I can't believe that anybody would even think that we would have a civil war. But I can understand why people think that way. You take a look at what's going on in this country, at how divided we are. Just look at how tough it is to get several bills passed that are critical in this country. Our infrastructure bills. All of the good things that are in those bills are being defeated because of the division in this country, because some people don't think we have enough money to spend to cover the cost of those bills. And that's pure nonsense. Right now, those bills, which were supposed to be voted on Thursday, and then Saturday will be voted on, and we still have the progressives standing firm on not wanting to vote for infrastructure until they get a reconciliation bill that they are satisfied with. Well, that's not going to happen because Joe Manchin and Sonoma are entrenched in their positions. And so I say we have a lot to do in this country, and we better get it done. We better get our ass in gear and figure out what to do. So I leave you with that this morning, and I want you to have a great day, if that's possible. Bye.